Hi everyone, welcome to week 15 of English 97. So this is the last video I'm going to post for this semester because next week the only thing you have to do is turn in your portfolio all revised and ready to go. And this week is really wrapping up, tying up loose ends, finishing our cover letter, compiling those portfolios together. So let's go ahead and get started. Assignments for this week include your last discussion board and the last readings for our course, which is very exciting. There is a confidence survey due Sunday. This is anonymous. It is just some feedback for me as your instructor and a way for you to kind of reflect on everything we've done this semester. So please take some time to do that. And then your cover letter final draft is due on Sunday. My goal is to get those, final tweaks and comments back to you by Monday so you can get your portfolio into me next Wednesday. So let's talk about the cover letters just a little bit. I want to make sure that you remember that this is not a normal essay in that you're not giving it the normal MLA header. What I want you to do is give your student ID number and then have a greeting like Dear Writing Committee, Dear English Department, Dear English Instructors, something like that that says, this is my audience. And then make sure you have a signature like sincerely or thank you or, best regards, really whatever signature you think sums up your piece. Make sure that everything is in 12-point font, Times New Roman, everything's double spaced. Please do not include your name because these portfolios are anonymous. That way the grading of them is as objective as possible. So you don't want to use my name or your own because then, the department's kind of small. They know me and they can, if you put my name in there, then they can look at like, oh, this is one of Laura's students, and that can maybe sway their grading, and we do not want that, okay? So please remove any names. If you want to use a fake name, that's fine. If you want to just say my instructor, or if you want to use your student ID number, that is perfect, okay? So make sure you check the formatting. This is the very first thing that the writing committee sees in your portfolio. So it is very important that it looks professional, that it reads well, that it's long enough to kind of explain who you are as a writer and the essays that you're including in your portfolio, all right? We've looked at examples, so I hope that, you have a strong idea of what you need, but if you don't, then please reach out to me. So as you're revising your cover letter, I wanted to kind of mention a few things that I noticed in our drafts. You want to make sure that you're giving plenty of detail to explain how you've changed over this semester. So I'm going to look at this example here. This is from a previous student. So it says, Dear Writing Committee, the fall semester was a roaster coaster to me. I think they mean roller coaster. From the beginning of the school year when I took the placement exam, I thought I had a chance to get an English 101, but I was wrong. I realized I was making mistakes with grammar, my essays didn't flow together, as well as I would get confused with my own writing. I decided to take an extra English class to help better my skills. I also made a goal, and that goal was passing the current English class I'm in now and being able to get into English 101. I later learned that to never give up on succeeding a goal. I was that procrastinator in class. I always hated doing schoolwork. I would rather hang out with friends or go drive around to get my mind off things. So I'm just going to read that first part. What I did was added these kind of red lines where I would make a new paragraph to kind of break up these ideas, just like you would in an essay. A few other things. Questions I have that I don't feel like the student is explaining very much is when they start with this idea that the semester was a roller coaster, why? How? In what ways was it a roller coaster? Then other questions I have are, how do you plan to make sure you succeed in English 101? And then how did you change those habits or your attitude? So they mentioned being a procrastinator, which I think a lot of us are, and kind of being distracted and not wanting to focus in school. So my question is, how did you change that? How did writing in this class or working through the semester help you to become less of a procrastinator? So make sure you're giving as much detail as possible. This student's cover letter you can see is just a page long, and I'd really like yours to be closer to 2 because that tells me you're giving enough detail and kind of really explaining what it is that your experience was like this semester. They do have some good description of their essays, but it kind of gets lost in this big chunk. So make sure that you're breaking up your letter into paragraphs. The other thing you want to make sure you do is edit your cover letter. So you noticed actually, when I edited this, I missed roller coaster. But I went through and kind of marked where sentences should stop and start, and also where those paragraph breaks should be. So for example, the fall semester was a roller coaster to me, period. Capital from the beginning of the school year when I took the placement exam, comma. I thought I had a chance to get into English 101, but I was wrong, period. I realized I was making mistakes with my grammar, my essays didn't flow together, take up that space, as well as I would get confused with my own writing. So when you're editing, make sure that you read your letter out loud, all right? You're gonna notice a lot of places where your sentences are running together, if you're missing commas, if you're missing periods, if you need capitalization, read it out loud. Read it to someone. Be like, hey mom, I have this letter I need to write for class. Let me read it to you. Tell me how it sounds. So really put yourself in the place of the reader while you're editing. All right, and then once you're confident that you have your cover letter together, you've turned it into me, I've given it back, then we're gonna compile your portfolios. So 3 pieces. You need your cover letter first, then your portfolio essay 1, and then portfolio essay 2. The order of those essays matters. It's important that your cover letter comes first, and then think about which essay you want to end with and which you want to start with. So do you want to go from weak to strong and kind of say, my first essay showed where I started and my second essay showed where I ended? Or do you want to start with a lighter topic and then go more serious? Do you want to go from this was one we did in the beginning of the semester and this was the end? I want you to kind of think about what will give the biggest picture, the best, clearest picture of how you've progressed over the semester. Obviously, both essays should be strong. They should be well revised, they should be edited, they should be polished. But I recognize that you'll probably have a piece that you feel is your strongest. So think about maybe ending with that one, end on a high note. Put all your pieces in one document, okay? So make sure that you have your cover letter, and then when I scroll down, I can see essay 1 and then essay 2. This makes it a lot easier for us to review the portfolios, and then when you turn it in, you just need one document. Make sure, again, that you remove your name and mine. Student ID number only, okay? I do not want to see your name or my name anywhere on these documents. Alrighty, so these are due Wednesday, May 11th. There are no exceptions to that deadline. I cannot be flexible because I have to get these turned into the committee. So Wednesday, May 11th is when they're due. Submit these on Blackboard. Make sure you remove your name and your my name, student ID only. All right. So, like I said, this is my last video for you guys of the semester. I am so incredibly proud of the work that you all have put in. I really was a little hesitant to teach this course online at the beginning of the semester, but I have been blown away by the hard work you all have put in. So thank you, congratulations, and get your portfolios into me next Wednesday, and I will be in contact during finals week to let you know how you did. But ultimately, you have grown so much, each of you individually as writers, as students, as people, and I've seen it, and I am so just honored to be a part of it. You guys are why I do what I do, so thank you. And hopefully I'll see you around SWIC, and if you ever want to, come by and say hello in person, I welcome that, and I just wish you guys all the best.